Hello and welcome to Behind the Scenes. This is a show where you get to hear from the people who are closest to Hollywood directors. Featured today on the show, Brian De Palma.
Say hello to my little friend!
Hi, my name is Vivian and Brian is my son. He was born September 11, 1940 in New Jersey. As a teenager, he loved computers. He enrolled in University of Columbia as a physics student, but switched to theater after being inspired by movies such as Citizen Kane and Vertigo. He began by directing documentaries, many of which were fairly successful. He then went on to do features such as Greetings and Hi Mom. Both films starred a young Robert De Niro. After many successes, Brian went to Hollywood in the 1970s.
I was working in Hollywood alongside Brian in the 1970s. It was an era of change. People referred to it as the New Hollywood. Other notable directors from that era were Roman Polanski and Stanley Kubrick. In the era of New Hollywood, Brian directed Sisters in 1973, and Obsession in 1976. In 1976, he directed Carrie, a film adapted from a Stephen King novel, starring Sissy Spacek and John Travolta in one of his first roles. He then went on to direct Dressed to Kill in 1980, which was nominated for a Razzie Award for Worst Director, and Blowout in 1981. Brian directed Scarface in 1983, which was also nominated for a Razzie Award for Worst Director. It was also nominated for 3 Golden Globes. He then went on to direct Wise Guys in 1986 and The Untouchables in 1987. In 1989, De Palma directed the film Casualties of War, which was based during the Vietnam War, like Full Metal Jacket. In 1993, he went on to direct Citizen Kane and then Carlito's Way the very next year. Carlito's Way was another one of his most successful movies that explored the inner struggle of Al Pacino, a man who wanted to love a clean-cut dancer but couldn't seem to stay away from the life of a mobster. In 1996, he directed the first Mission Impossible and followed in with a terrible movie called Snake Eyes. In 2000, he flopped again with the movie Mission to Mars, which was nominated for another Razzie Award. His latest film was released in 2012, called Passion. Throughout his career, Brian De Palma had many films that failed commercially and critically, but always came back with a redeeming masterpiece such as Scarface.
Ah, yes. Let me tell you about De Palma's coat. First and foremost, he is often called a copycat for reusing my style of suspense and stylistic approach. But he also brings many of his own tropes into his films. For example, the split screen shot, making psychological thrillers, the canted angle shot, frequently casting Al Pacino, graphic and gruesome violence, and the overuse of explosions.
Hi, my name is Samara, and I'm in Mr. Robinson's film class at Adam Scott. Me and my group are actually going to release soon a film with some of Brian De Palma's tropes in it. Some of his tropes are, in the film he has a canted angle shot, theme of religion and spirituality, and our best efforts at bloody violence, and a homage to Alfred Hitchcock. Unfortunately, Al Pacino was busy with another film, so we settled for Shelby, but close enough.
And that is all for our show today. I hope you've been inspired to watch at least one Brian De Palma film. Goodbye.